Hello and welcome all of you to this discussion session and open house with the faculty of Tata Institute of Social Sciences, Guwahati. I'm Sauraveswar Sen, founder of Catalyst Learning Services, welcoming all of you to a discussion around the programs, the prospects, the placement opportunities, the know-how of the admission procedure, which is currently active to apply for TISS, and to understand how the programs of TISS Guwahati shapes you in your career path and progress towards a better tomorrow. First and foremost, I would like to sincerely thank the TISS Guwahati faculty team. And I use the word team because today we are honored to literally have a team with us in all of the faculty members who wanted to join and interact with the enthusiastic aspirants who are looking forward to apply to the TISS Guwahati courses. Madams and sirs, thank you so much for your time, energy to be with us. Our sincere thanks to several of the former and past students of TISS Guwahati who have taken out time of their very busy and challenging professional schedule for the simple reason that they wanted to be part of an experience which has still helps them to carry on their work and their vision for a better tomorrow. Thank you so much, the alumni of TISS Guwahati, for being with us. To begin with, I would like to formally introduce both the deans from the School of Social Science and Humanities as well as the School of Social Work who are with us today. And thank you so much, ma'am and sir, for again taking out your time and being here to discuss and interact with the aspiring students. I would like to start introducing Professor Kalpana Sarthi, who is currently the Dean at the School of Social Work, Guwahati campus. Professor Kalpana Sarthi teaches at the Center for Public Health, School of Social Work. Professor Sarthi has over 20 years of teaching experience and has served at the Mizoram University as well as the University of Delhi as a faculty member in the Department of Social Work. By training, she is a psychiatric social worker and has trained at the National Institute of Mental Health and Neurosciences at Bengaluru. She completed her doctoral studies at the Center of Social Medicine and Community Health at the JNU, her post-graduation in medical and psychiatric social work at the Madras School of Social Work, and her graduation in English are both obtained from the University of Madras. Prior to embarking on a teaching career in the late 90s, Professor Sarthi began work as a counselor addressing women's mental health issues in particular. She has successfully supervised over 7 doctoral scholars and 13 MPhil scholars. Her research interests are primarily related to mental health with a focus on children, gender, and in relation to conflict and its impact on mental health. She has been engaged with 2 research projects in the recent years that have studied the impact of conflict on mental health in Northeast India. Professor Kalpana Sarthi, thank you so much for taking out your time and being with us today. Dr. Abhinandan Saikia, an assistant professor and associate dean of the School of Social Sciences and Humanities at TISS Guwahati campus, bridges natural and social sciences with his interest in agroforestry, biodiversity, innovation studies, institutional change theories, and traditional knowledge systems. Dr. Abhinandan Saikia has supervised numerous MA and BA dissertations on environment, development, and climate change, along with 2 MPhil dissertations, and currently supervises 3 PhD theses. Few of Dr. Saikia's completed projects include stakeholder perception analysis for the Assam Integrated River Basin Management Program in 2023, study of agro-based grassroots innovations in India in 2019, gender and trade in Assam, Guwahati urban transportation, and the feasibility study for eco-development committees around Manas National Park. With over 11 years of teaching experience at TISS, Dr. Abhinandan Saikia has taught MA courses in ecology, environment, and sustainable development, covering topics such as social sciences, perspectives on ecology, ethnoecology, natural resource management, technology and society, environmental legislations, industrialization, urbanization, and environmental assessments. Dr. Abhinandan Saikia, we can't thank you enough for taking out your time and being with us here today. And I would also like to mention that there are many faculty who are together here tonight to discuss and share their perspectives based on the diversified question or queries that we are expecting from our enthusiastic participants. So I would request, Professor Pradeep, if you would like to just maybe, briefly introduce our fellow professors who are there with us tonight. Thank you so much. And then we would start with the discussion session around an introductory video on the TISS campus for all of you. Thank you, Professor Pradeep.
Yes, we have. I think when I introduce, I think if the faculty colleagues can switch on their videos, and then for briefly, I know that there are connectivity issues in Guwahati. We have with us Dr. Subeno Ketan from Center for SSA. Yeah, so she's here. You can introduce quickly. Yeah.
Hello, everyone. I'm Dr. Subeno. I currently teach at the Center for Sociology and Social Anthropology. I teach papers like sociology, social anthropology, kinship, family, marriage. I teach papers on, various aspects with regard to the theories, Indian society, and so on. So I'm really excited to hear from all of you, and happy that you are all able to join today. And if there is any query, we'll get back. Thank you so much.
We have Dr. Stephen Pamai, who's a chairperson for Center for Sociology and Social Anthropology. I request him to introduce himself quickly. Yeah. Dr. Stephen, yeah.
Hi, good evening. My name is Stephen Pamai. I teach in Sociology and Social Anthropology. So I teach a paper on research method, urban sociology, population and society, and other many courses. So after some time, I'll get back to you. Yeah, thank you.
We have a chairperson of Center for Community Organization and Development Practice, Dr. Joseph Rimai. Dr. Joseph Rimai, over to you. Yeah. You have to unmute, Dr. Joseph.
Yeah, okay. Hi, everyone. This is Dr. Joseph. I'm primarily associated with the Center for Community Organization and Development Practice. I teach community development, conflict, project planning management. So good to have you all. Thank you.
We have Dr. Santosh, chairperson of Unit for Research and Development. Dr. Santosh. Hello, Dr. Santosh.
Good evening. Hi.
Yes. Yeah. So
I'm Dr. Santosh. I'm affiliated with Center for Public Health. This year, we are not offering any MA program in public health or social work program in public health. I'm also chairing the Unit for Research and Development. I also teach across the programs and centers.
We have Dr. Ritusmita Goswami from Center for ESD. Yeah, Ritusmita Goswami, over to you.
Yeah, hello everyone. Actually, there is some network issue, so I could not open my video. But anyways, so myself, Dr. Ritusmita Goswami, so I am affiliated to the Center for Ecology, Environment and Sustainable Development, and I teach papers on climate change and natural disaster, environmental impact assessment, and field research methods, and so yeah. Thank you so much.
We have chairperson of EESD Center, Dr. Namita Brahma.
Hello, good evening to one and all. Welcome to our open session, and I am Dr. Namita Brahma. I teach in the Center for Ecology, Environment and Sustainable Development. I am trained in the field of ecology. I especially teach fundamentals in ecology, field research methods of ecology. I do a lot of birding classes. That's one of the, you can say, attractive fieldwork that ESD have. Along with that, I also teach biodiversity conservation. Then I also teach conservation-based rural livelihoods, population migration, environment. So please feel free if you have any queries to us. We'll be very happy to answer your queries. Welcome.
I have Dr. Monica Fatala from Center for Counseling.
Yeah, hello everyone. Good evening. My name is Monica and I am affiliated to the Center for Counseling, School of Social Work. I teach human growth and development, counseling with different collectivities. My primary area of interest and my specialization is family and child welfare, and I teach in these papers, which is related to mental health and counseling, and working with different collectivities, women, children, elderly, and youth, and also other papers in other centers as well. So warm welcome to all the aspirants, and we hope to see many of you in the campus. All the best. Thank you.
We have Dr. Samveli from Center for SSA. Hello, Dr. Samveli, can you hear us?
Unmute, Dr. Samveli.
I'm sorry. I'm Dr. Sauraveswar. I teach in Center for Sociology and Social Anthropology. I teach papers like theories of society, research methods, qualitative, gender and society, law and society, economy and society. It's very nice to meet you all. I hope to have a very fruitful interaction with you all. Thank you.
Finally, we have Dr. Pomi Mahanta from Center for Counseling. Yes. Pomi, you have to unmute yourself, Dr. Pomi.
Okay, good evening, everyone. I am Dr. Pomi and I am affiliated to Center for Counseling. And also I teach BASS psychology paper and my specialization is in the field of psychiatric social work. So if any query, we'll be happy to get back to you. Thank you.
Yes, and then I am Pradeep, Chairperson of Center for Livelihoods and Social Entrepreneurship. And I welcome all of you. And now I'll hand over this to our host, Sauraveswar. Over to you, Sauraveswar. We're grateful to you that you are helping us with organizing this entire thing so systematically. Over to you.
It's an honor and pleasure at the same time, sir. I would like to just mention that before we get into the introductory video, with everyone's permission, Kalpana ma'am, possibly, again, she is a little short on resources, as in like due to the power shortage. And in the broader interest of the session, we cannot miss her perspective in today's discussion session. So I may request Kalpana ma'am that, if you would like to introduce from your end the programs for the Guwahati campus for the aspirants, and then we steer the session forward. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Dr. Sauraveswar, and for putting this entire exercise together. Very good evening to every one of you who is here. I can see a lot of familiar faces, of course, our faculty. Very appreciative that so many of them have come in today, but also to see so many of the alumni. And, that's what TISS or any university life is about. Thank you all for taking that time and being here. And then, to all you dear aspirants who we are looking at as our prospective students, and at least who've shown that interest to be here today. We do have a power outage, and therefore I'll try and very quickly, on behalf of the Deputy of TISS Guwahati off campus, I'd like to just quickly give you an overview as to why how we would like to introduce TISS Guwahati. And I know many of you would have done your own search. We just like to say that what are the few things that might have, interested you is perhaps the fact that it is in this location. For those of you who come from the Northeast itself, I can assure you that you will find a second home over here. For those of you who come from outside the Northeast, what I'd like to say is that it's a wonderful socio-cultural educational experience that we can assure you that you will have when you come to Guwahati, if you have not otherwise been exposed to the Northeast. Now, having said that, this campus itself, I'm sure some of you have attended some of the other campus introductions, but you know that TISS itself was established way back, 86, 87 years ago in 1936. But the Guwahati off-campus was actually set up in 2011, 12. And this has emerged out of the commitment of an institute that was dedicated to social sciences to fulfill the dreams and aspirations of youth in the Northeast. And that is the kind of gap that this campus hopes to fill. And I think the campus also takes advantage of the geostrategic positioning of where we are in the Northeast and reaching out. And some of our larger commitments are about how we can have more vibrant, diverse set of students coming in from Bhutan, coming in from Myanmar, coming in from the transnational boundaries. So that's the visioning with which this Guwahati was set up. And the vision as a whole of the institute or of this campus is to see how do we enhance sensitivities to work for social justice, to work with the most marginalized populations, and how do we build entrepreneurship and skills in relation to contemporary issues. While we like to say that our logo is about reimagining futures. And so how do we contribute to that? So our pedagogies, therefore, in terms of teaching, what you may expect as potential aspirants in this campus is the fact that all our courses reflect a diversity in terms of discipline. So we have a very interdisciplinary focus in our teaching. We have a pedagogy that is influenced by reflection combined with critical inquiry. We encourage students to get engaged in issues. All of our courses have a field component. Some of them much more heavy, some of them maybe a smaller component, but nevertheless, it's not something that you might be actually prepared that these are all field engaged courses. And so we therefore have a huge network. All of our courses have come about through consultative processes with NGOs, with multi-stakeholders. Just 3 or 4 points before I talk about the School of Social Work in particular and our courses. About the campus itself, what is also unique is that we have a 66% reservation for the Northeast. When I told you earlier that we are trying to fulfill the aspirations of youth in the region, and this 66% reservation brings a hugely rich diversity. In my introduction, I think Mr. Sauraveswar had already told you, I've taught at different places. I have yet to come across a diversity that we see in this campus. So this is what you may expect. You will have friends by the time you leave this course in almost every state of the Northeast, but even we've had students in the past from Ladakh, we have had from Kerala, we have had from Gujarat. I mean, I don't think any state has really been left out over the last few years, in the short years that we have been here. We organize our programs under 2 schools. We have the School of Social Sciences and Humanities, which my colleague, Dr. Abhinandan Saikia will introduce. And I will be introducing the School of Social Work. The faculty here, they teach across the program. So all my colleagues who are sitting here, you can well expect that they will be, teaching even if they belong to different or are affiliated to different centers. We have some facilities which are moderate. This is a campus that's growing. And as we go and look ahead, we will have better facilities even as compared to what we have now. But even now we have hostel facilities for students. For a large number, about 350 students almost are accommodated in our hostels. And so this is the reason why, you might be wanting to join. We have the video, which will give you a glimpse into the cultural, social, university life. So I'm not going into those details. Now, about the 3 centers that we have within the School of Social Work. Some of you might have shown interest on joining the Center for Community Organization and Development Practice. My colleagues are here. For any reason I get disconnected, I'm requesting any of my colleagues to take over. The Center for Community Organization and Development Practice actually has been one of the centers that has attracted the maximum number of applications over the years. And there's a reason for that. This is a course that in many other schools of social work might offer a course called community development or community organization. But in this, how do we engage students to look at the community as a core, at the core, and how the centrality of community is, what is emphasized in the course, and looking at issues which are at individual or micro level, meso level, macro level, but looking at issues of social justice and the most marginalized groups. And with, of course, an emphasis on the Northeast. We have communities that are of rural, urban, tribal contexts. And our students in this particular center have, graduated and been placed very successfully across government organizations. We have entrepreneurs. We have a lot of entrepreneurs who have come up from these centers. We have international NGOs or projects that students have joined. And of course, several of them indicate their interest to move on in research and higher education. So this is what you may expect as if you come to this center. I believe that the School of Social Work or the School of Social Sciences and Humanities, all of our courses are, not just unique and niche, which we would like to believe, but they're also customized to the needs of the region. So when we look at the next center, and that's the Center for Livelihoods and Social Entrepreneurship, Dr. Pradeep, my colleague, is here. He can always add more if there are questions. We look in this particular center at the challenges that are imposed due to several reasons that impact livelihoods of people across communities. We also use the framework of social entrepreneurship to thereafter address look at how these may be addressed. And we are again looking here at rural context, urban context, tribal context, and very interesting courses that actually inform this program. We have self-initiative projects besides a very heavily field-engaged manner of teaching. So all of this is what you may expect if you come to this particular center. And we really welcome you to the campus. We have excellent alumni. Some of them are sitting here, and so you will engage with them directly and find out from them. We have alumni who have gone on to becoming entrepreneurs again. We have them impacting government programs. We have them joining, policy building and other initiatives. We have entrepreneurs from here, like we said, and of course, people working across government sectors. Again, a very, very highly sought after program as far as the school is concerned. And then we have the third center, closer to my own heart. And so therefore, I just take a minute to say that the Center for Counseling is a center which, it's like we keep saying, it took a whole pandemic for us to understand the importance of mental health and to say that mental health is everybody's problem. It's not something that only mental health professionals or counselors talk about. So what does this center actually, and I can see a number of our alumni are actually from this center. Today, they are present over here. So a big hi and shout out to all of them. What we look at over here is counseling within the context of a social work framework. You might be familiar as aspirants that there are other courses where psychology actually leads these courses. But here, what to expect when you have counseling within a social work framework. And what I would say in a nutshell is that in this center, we look at the individual issues, but how systemic structural factors impact mental health. And so that's the unique perspective that this center offers. I'm happy to say that a number of our alumni here are working in very, very good grassroots organizations. They impact changes. They work on mental health initiatives. They join mental health networks. They have also, I mean, of course, been appointed as counselors in schools and colleges. But about 16 of them in the last 6 years alone have gone on to doing their MPhil in psychiatric social work. Several of them at NIMHANS, several of them at Central Institute of Psychiatry, and the RINPAS, which is the Ranchi institute there, and then the LGBRIMH in Tezpur, which is Lokapriya Gopinath Bordoloi Regional Institute of Mental Health. So our courses here are very reflexive. They focus on enhancing your own values before you, and understanding yourself before you start helping others. In a nutshell, I hope I've done justice to not just the campus, but also to the school. And I will hand it over back to you, Mr. Sauraveswar. And I'm hoping that I will be around still for the question and answer session if my connection doesn't disappear. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Professor Sarthi, for a very crisp, vivid, and energetic understanding of the program. We would quickly take a look, maybe if all of you are permitting me to. I would like to share my screen and just kind of provide all of you with like a vibe of the TISS campus, so that we see some of the visuals that ma'am has been mentioning, and we would then take forward our session, right? So if you can just allow me to share my screen. Just do that right now. Please let me know when my screen becomes visible once I share it. And as well as if the audio is not clear, also feel free to use your microphone and let me know. Thank you. I'm just sharing my screen right now. Just a moment. This is what also technology does. It kind of may not always behave the way you want it to. Just reshare my screen once. Thank you for your patience, everyone. I hope this is visible for everyone on my screen.
Yes, I think you can switch on the sound also. Yeah, it's perfect.
Wow, I think that was truly so much energy and great vibes. The enriching culture that ma'am spoke about was so evitable. Thank you so much again for everyone to put in through this video. It was lovely. I would request, the faculty panel, in case we would like to talk about a little bit more about any of the specific programs, and then maybe start taking some of the questions and queries which our participants would like to ask. So if Professor Pradeep would like to nominate anyone specific for further discussion about the programs before we start the Q&A.
Should we also like hear from Dr. Abhinandan, and then we'll go for this Q&A session, or how is it?
Yeah, we can do that. If there, sir, we can take in any further perspectives about the programs from any other faculty member, and we can then with the Q&A.
Yes, can I request Dr. Santosh to add more to what Professor Kalpana has elaborated on the programs, on social work programs?
Hello.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, just wanted to add one point that the social work program that we are offering from School of Social Work from TISS Guwahati, unlike other social work programs from other universities, these are unique in that sense. The specializations that we are offering, especially livelihood and social entrepreneurship, counseling, and community organization development practice, if you are familiar with the social work specializations, community organization and development practice is something that you will find in other universities, especially TISS Mumbai. But I don't think there are any other university or institution that are offering livelihood and social entrepreneurship or a counseling specialization within social work. So in that way, the programs that we offer are unique in that sense. I would also like to point out that these programs are designed after a very lengthy consultation with different stakeholders. So these programs are designed to cater to the needs of the Northeast. If you take counseling, there's a specific reason why we have come up with a specialization in counseling within social work program. Because there is the issues with regards to mental health, and there isn't enough trained human resources within Northeast. So we thought that if we have a specialization within social work, which would also cater to the counseling needs, then it would be really helpful to the region. Similarly, livelihood and social entrepreneurship. And this is again a unique program that is offered from TISS Guwahati. Again, when we came up with these programs, we had also remember that now the education policy talks about multidisciplinary training. You have to remember that when we design these programs, all these programs are multidisciplinary in their approach. Similarly, though our institute is located in the Northeast, we have very diverse backgrounds students come from. So we have a kind of pan-Indian presence of students within the campus. We get students from from down south to the western part of India, even from the northern part of India. We used to get students from Ladakh. So we have a diverse student background in TISS Guwahati. So these are some of the characteristic features of our programs and our campus. So I would request you to read further about our programs and the facilities. Though we have been offering these programs for the last 11 years. This is the 11th batch that we are going to offer from this year. So we wish to see some of you as our students in our classrooms. Thank you.
Yes, I think now I think we should go ahead, and then we'll have Dr. Abhinandan, and then we can rope in more faculty members, request more faculty members to come in as questions are coming into the chat box. Yeah.
So if I may just try to bring out a few of the questions which you can already see. One question that Bipin Kumar Das asks is related to he asks, what are the top programs of TISS Guwahati? He also asks after the return on investment associated with the programs, as well as the placements. So if any of the faculty members would like to address Bipin's question.
Yeah. Can I see in a social science institution, these are like very tough questions for us. Unlike any business schools or any management or technology institutions, these are little tough questions for us. And when I say that, we are visualizing for spaces and then programs which are emergent and then which are emerging in the society. So we have some track of where our students are going, what organizations they are going, then what kind of placements we are having, what kind of career path they take up and kind of thing. But within our TISS Guwahati campus, it is very difficult for us to have this hierarchy and gradation among the program, which is the best course. And then those rankings are very difficult to do. I think all programs are equally good, if one should say. I think there are some opinions on the social media handles and kind of thing regarding the programs. They are also like not validated by the institution. And that's where I will refrain from responding this question directly. But just to indicate that recently we have we just completed the placement drive. So we could see that anywhere around 30 to 35,000 is an average salary the students are getting when they're finishing courses in social sciences and then social work. And I think that gives you a fair idea. And whenever these CSR organizations and whenever the corporates are hiring, I think they look for the CTC, something around 5 to 6 lakhs, which is an average kind of thing, which we'll see. But over the period of time, the students have had opportunity to become entrepreneurs, and then they work at the policy level as advisors. They're working with, very interestingly, many of them have started working with these emerging think tanks, right? And they are earning, they are making a huge money in that sense. But we don't want to validate our courses with those packages. As I'm saying, that it is very difficult. But I'd request Dr. Joseph, he wants to add anything to this particular query. Dr. Joseph? Dr. Shivani, who is our placement officer and placement coordinator, she's not keeping well, so she's not joining. So request Dr. Joseph, he can also help me in responding to this particular query. Okay. Can I request Dr. Namita? Because Namita, Dr. Namita.
Yes, Professor, yes. I'll very clearly say that when we talk about TISS Guwahati, we don't have any bindings that our students go to a particular organization, particular area, because see, now the currently whatever we are teaching are interdisciplinary, so which has a very wide applications, and most of our courses are, as I think most of you have already gone through, is very interesting in its content. Okay, so that way it gives a lot of wide spectrum of opportunities for our students across the program. So you don't have to worry. So our placement record is also quite good, I would say. And not only within the campus, even there are a lot of opportunities that comes to our students off campuses also, especially when we talk about the programs like social work. You will see, as already Kalpana ma'am has said, that our students are working very intricately in the grassroots as well as different CSR organizations also. Likewise, in the social sciences also, most of our programs are being acknowledged by different organizations. And that's how I have been seeing in the experiences. I'm teaching since 2017. I see that most of the batches gets placed in different INGOs or your national level NGOs. Along with that, I organizations, institutes, different academic institutes as well. So not only in the placement, but in addition to that, our students also are able to join in different higher educational institutes for their further research, those who are interested in research aspects. So I think definitely if you have some more other queries, I'll add to it. Okay, Professor Pradeep?
Yes, I think that's very helpful.
Thank you. If I may just request the faculty to address, like I'm collating I think couple of questions that Pranav Arya writes in the chat box, and I would also request if any of the alumni who are present tonight would like to add their perspectives to the ongoing questions, please feel free to do that. So Pranav has a couple of questions, and I'm just trying to collate them together for everyone's benefit. Pranav wants to know specifically about research projects around.
I think I read that question.
Yeah.
It is very appropriate once Dr.
Yeah.
Abhinandan
Sure.
speaks about
Perfect.
the centers, because that's very closely related to School of Social Sciences and Humanities. Like Dr. Abhinandan come in maybe now and then introduce the School of Social Sciences and Humanities and courses. Then I think that question becomes more appropriate to be answered. Yeah.
Perfect.
Can I request Dr. Abhinandan? Yes.
Okay. First of all, thank you, Sauraveswar, for putting the interaction session to be in a way more active way, and it's like really a good question that are flooding up from the question students' point of view. As an associate dean of School of Social Sciences and Humanities, let me take the pleasure first of all welcome you all the students. And in the School of Social Sciences and Humanities, we have two centers, which is a Center for Ecology, Environment and Sustainable Development, and Center for Sociology and Social Anthropology. Now, if I go by the first center, that is the Center for Ecology, Environment and Sustainable Development, this center is basically, it started way back in 2012. In fact, it would be, I will not be incorrect to say that this is one of the earliest program that has started in TISS Guwahati campus, and it has almost completed its decadal journey. So we are actually, we have completed our, the 10th batch of the EAS students have already passed out. And we are happy also to inform that many of the students who have passed out from this center has also been absorbed in different capacities, either in research institutions, development organizations, and also in some of the government agencies. Having said the nature of this program, It is interdisciplinary in nature, keeping in mind both the aspects of natural sciences and social sciences, and also to an extent the importance of technical sciences like GIS and remote sensing. So when I talk about these three aspects, I need to say that this particular program is actually made in a way to address the healthy interactions between nature and nurture. Now, when I say nature is actually changing. If you look into 21st century, and if you look into 20th century and 19th century, and if you look at the human evolution, it has been changing throughout. Now, when the nature is changing, at the same time, the nurture is also changing. I mean to say the societal changes are also happening. Now, in that particular whole interactions, now at some point of time, the ecology is also going to change. Now, this center addresses this type of these important aspects when you try to see it from the lens of natural sciences and social sciences, and try to a point called sustainability. And that is why environment and sustainable development. If I put ecology as a particular color in the form of green, if I put environment in the form of brown, that means the way the environment we are right now in 21st century. And if I say sustainable development, I would come up to a color which is more or less like, to an extent bit orange in color, so that both the green and the, at the same time, the brown can actually come and combine in between. So sustainability in this particular program is actually a particular aspect in which students are trying to understand that if you really have to address the challenges of 21st century, keeping in mind the climate change, keeping in mind the food security issues, keeping in mind the issue of water, land, okay, keeping in mind the sanitation issues, okay, keeping in mind the health issues, where do you exactly start, and where do you exactly bring the interactions of both the natural science aspects and social science aspects? And of course, we have remote sensing and GIS, which actually also help the students to
I think there is some technical glitches, network issue, I think. Can I ask?
In fact, I would say that in 2014, of course, when I was in my introduction was
Oh, it got disconnected. But
no problem.
In the meantime, can I request
Rajiv?
Yeah, hi, Joseph. Yeah, hi.
Yeah, sorry. But there were some questions on CODP, so I would like to
No,
answer
yes,
some of the questions.
you can respond. Yeah.
Yeah. So the Center for Community Organization and Development Practice has a blends of specialization courses and also skill-based courses. So basically, the course is designed to provide sound training in social work, community organization and development practice, research and practice within a framework that is tuned in with the existing and emerging needs and reality of India, and also focusing on Northeast India. So the students who are, who opted for this center will have the opportunity to develop understanding about the centrality of the community, like society, economy, polity, and also the student will be equipped with knowledge-based skill and techniques for becoming an effective community organizer and development practitioners. Some of the courses that that we teach in this center, we have from law and society, development and communication, theories of community practice, and also we have rural development and governance. We have also uh, conflict and peace processes, advocacy, networking, so on and so forth. So you will have a diverse range of courses in this community, in this center, because we are talking about community organization development practice. So we look into from the lens of health, from the lens of livelihood, from the lens of community development, development, so on and so forth. So it will have a blend of, courses that address community issues, emerging community issues, and we'll have a specific courses that look into the center specific focus, courses, right? So in a brief, the CODP courses will offer a range of courses that look into various issues: health, livelihood, economic, peace and conflict, development communication, so on and so forth. Right. So in this short nutshell, I hope I address some of the queries that are put up in the chat box. Any further questions, then you can always come back to us.
Right. I think now.
Anyway, just one thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Please.
Just one thing, Pradeep. For details of the courses, you can also always go back to our TISS website. I think much detailed overview of the courses that there.
Yeah, I think now Dr. Abhinandan is back.
Yes, I'm so sorry about my power. Actually, we are living in the age of 5Gs, but sometimes technology is very deceiving. But anyway, so I was mentioning about the project that we were there in eco development in 2014, and it was all sort for the Manas National Park. And interestingly, it was with the help of our students, the students from EESD who actually contributed to it, and because of which it became a successful sort of a intervention project. And after that, this project also was instrumental in. And so I was telling that I could see that one of the questions that has come up also in the question, students, is that regarding the research project in social science, School of Social Sciences and Humanities. Let me tell you that projects are on the pipeline, in the sense there are different aspects coming up in the on the line, that in the line of say agroforestry, in the line of water basin development projects. The thing is that right now we are also doing some sort of like intervention in different government agencies. And with the help of students, we of course look forward to come up with some of the more interesting aspects in futures, keeping in mind the cultural aspects, keeping in mind the biodiversity aspects, keeping in mind also the issues related to climate change in the region. And let me tell you that in the Center for Ecology, Environment and Social Sciences, where I am also involved, we have 3 faculty members, of course, introduced by Professor Pradeep already. So each of us has come from a different disciplines. Dr. Ritusmita, Dr. Namita, they have come from natural science background. And I, Abhinandan, has come from an interdisciplinary background. And interestingly, it is a mix of all the faculties along with other faculty from social work and also discipline social sciences who contribute to this whole program. Now, interestingly, if I go to the Center for Sociology and Social Anthropology, which is another center in School of Social Sciences and Humanities, it is a multidisciplinary program which actually emphasizes the interactions between the sociology and social anthropology, keeping in mind the interest of industrial societies and traditional societies. Now, when we look into the whole issue of globalization, the way how societies have been changing throughout different geographies of the world, and keeping in mind the Northeast, where you have a richer tribal tapestry, I would say the component of indigenous communities. Now, in the age of globalization, these communities are also changing certain, aspects. Now, in order to understand these aspects, okay, this particular center try to look it from an industrial society point of view, keeping in mind the discipline of sociology, as well as bringing also the anthropological perspective, how in the past, this center also has actually provided a lot of students who have excelled in many of the academic programs. And I would be glad to say that this is one of the centers in TISS Guwahati where maximum students have cleared NET, National Eligibility Test exams, which has made them also eligible for going for different academic positions in the past. And at the same time, we also have altogether internship programs in these two centers, where students also get exposures to different organizations, okay, and at the same time hands-on training, so that at some point when they leave this institute after getting the degree, they are confident. They are confident to face the world. Now, one of the questions that, of course, Dr. Pradeep was trying to answer, saying that it's very difficult in a social science institute to say which one is actually first or second, or which is actually giving the hierarchy. Now, interestingly, let me tell you that the world is changing. The world is changing, and the Anthropocene is soon going to become Climatocene. So, in the whole era of climate change, even the nature of jobs are also going to be changeable. Whatever is exactly important today might not become too important tomorrow. So in the Social Science Institute, it gives you that particular scope to understand those dynamics, what is exactly changing in the society, so that you can understand the intricacies and it can develop for the future. Nothing is static, it is very dynamic. So I think with that, I will come to an end, and let me tell you that in the Center for Sociology and Social Anthropology, faculties are there from the disciplines of sociology and also for anthropology, and we have faculty coming from different universities who actually has got PhD degrees from universities like JNU, university like Tezpur University, University of Hyderabad, okay, then Pondicherry universities. So I think this is an opportunity for all of us also to know each other, at the same time to think about a better world, keeping in mind the sustainability aspects, because all of us, end of the day, is like a humsuffer. We go in a particular boat together, and we need to sail well. So with that, I think I once again wish all of you my best wishes for the exam, and at the same time, looking forward to have it on board. Thank you. Thank you.
Professor Pradeep, I saw one of the students, alumni, raising her hand from CODP. She would like to add something in addition to Dr. Joseph.
Yeah.
Pranati, was it you?
Hi, no, it's fine. We can, like, now that there's been a break, happy to come in whenever it's our turn to speak. So nice to see you all.
Yeah, Praniti, you can take your time now.
Sure. Hi, everyone. My name is Pranati. I graduated from TISS Guwahati from CODP in 2021, and I was just trying to add on and plug into what Joseph sir was saying. And I'm also trying to briefly answer certain things that came up. So just at the base of it, like Joseph sir said, the CODP course manual can be found on the website as well, which has a lot of the courses, but project planning, 2 or 3 types of research courses are there in what we are taught. And my experience with especially the research courses and the way they were taught was very positive. I did have a background in political science from TU, but at the same time, this being taught from a social work lens, and also like people have mentioned before, the classroom composition being such, especially my friends who I had the privilege of studying with, who were first generation learners. I feel like people who come from privileged backgrounds in urban areas like myself, this is a great campus to shut up and listen and to learn. And that is the idea I came in with. In terms of the other course structures, like, so in the first year, social work has a foundation program, which everyone attends together. Professors, please correct me if that has changed now. And then you also have electives. So, I do see a lot of concerns about, if this is our specialization, what ends up happening after this? I feel like a lot of education stems from our, our desire and passion to learn something. But as we go ahead and start working, because of the intersectional lens that either we develop or we are taught with, it does widen up. So I'll just give you my personal example. While I was studying at TISS Guwahati for my elective course, and hands down, that was one of the best courses I'd done. One of my electives was in peace and conflict studies, and we had a guest speaker who'd come over. And that was brilliant. Similarly, I think I had one from sociology and social anthropology. So given the general electives you have, you can also pick what you are interested in, study that further. And because of those elective courses, I did get to evaluate a TISS project 6 months after I graduated, actually. And I was back in MP on ground, trying to understand that further. Furthermore, like Abhinandan sir was speaking about environment and sustainability. Like, just to give you a brief recap, my very brief job profile since graduating from TISS has been across thematic lenses, and I feel like that's something you can pick in your fieldwork, in the sort of research you choose and end up picking, or also your own interests. I was working for a small consultancy right after, where I was working on intersectional research. 6 months after TISS, like I said, I was evaluating a TISS project in MP, and I went on to do my research assistantship with the Behavioral Sciences Center at Princeton, which was all remote. But even then, behavioral sciences is something that you understand because of the courses you are taught, and that intersectional does end up coming to you. And yeah, I currently just finished a project in agriculture and technology in AgTech, where I was also researching alongside a team from University of Lausanne, that's in Switzerland. So I don't have a background necessarily in environment, but because of the sort of foundation courses and the course structure itself, it did give me that backing and also the push to understand it myself. And like Kalpana ma'am had mentioned, the counseling department, I've always had an interest in that. So I am currently finishing my diploma in movement therapy and facilitation from CMTAI. And yeah, that's the sort of fieldwork and research work I want to engage in. So there are multiple questions and queries that you will have coming in, but pick what you're passionate to, and keep hounding what you're passionate about, and connect with people shamelessly. But yeah, in case any of you would have any further questions, sorry if I took too much time, I'm happy to be there and to provide any support. You can find me on LinkedIn with the same name. So yeah, thank you. Sorry if that was long.
Dr. Pradeep.
Yes.
I just want to add something on this field work. There is a question on internship.
Correct.
At this, for our social work programs, we don't have any internship. What we have is field work. So the field work is the core of social work training. So we have this 1 month field work in every semester. Okay, so the first 3 semesters, the faculties will find an organization or fieldwork setting for you. On the 3rd semester, so the 4th semester, you can choose, you can look for organization by yourself and go for block placement. We call it block placement. So the first 2 semesters are a generic fieldwork, in the sense that though you are taking a specialized program, the first year, all of you would be sitting for the core program, core courses. Only very few specialization programs are offered, or courses are offered in the first 2 years. Okay, so otherwise, most of the core courses are offered as a what do you call? All the specialization students will be sitting together for these courses. So in the first year, the students will be given fields. The main aim of the first semester field work is to give some exposure to the different types of settings. So the students can choose the field settings based on their thematic interests. So it could be livelihood, it could be a rural setting, it could be a health setting, it could be urban setting, it could be tribal setting. So it is up to the students to choose what settings they would like to. So they can also choose the locations. And then the faculty members will help you to find organizations. And then usually students are placed in groups, okay? Apart from these field work in every semester, we also have something called rural practicum. During this field of a rural practicum, students will be placed in a rural area for 10 days. Currently, our first year social work students are now they're undergoing their rural practicum in different parts of Northeast. So they'll be going to the remote, most probably the remote villages of Northeast, and it's a small group of 7 to 10 members. So they'll go and stay with the community. Sometimes they stay with the family, and it could be in any part of Northeast. So the point I'm trying to make is the field is central to field work, social work training. So we don't have internship, but what we have is a field work. Yeah, and that is where you get trained in terms of your values, ethics, attitudes, and you learn the basic principles of social work practice. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Now I think Chandrai, our alumni, has raised her hand. So what I request is each of our alumni members who are joining here, now since we are coming close to 8:50, I request each of the alumni members who have joined here to raise your hand, and then maybe you speak for a minute or two and then respond those queries which are coming in the chat box. And I think you can design your response aligned to those questions which are coming to the chat box, and introduce yourself and then maybe speak for a minute or two. I hope that is fine, right, Sarveshwar? Yeah.
So hello everyone, this is Chandra here, and I'm from the batch of 15-17. And as Dr. Santosh said, right, talking about internships. So just to give a background of, I studied Masters in Social Work, and my specialization was in livelihood and social entrepreneurship. And I think why to take up the aspect of field work, right? It sort of helped me to shape. But my journey in TISS, right, from the beginning to the end, it has helped me to grow and be who I am today in terms of my perspectives, in terms of my vision. Because when I entered as a graduate student and entering into the world of masters, to have such a plethora of knowledge was very crucial for my development, not just personally, professionally, but as a holistic development of what I am today. So I have almost close to 7 years of experience. And to start with the fieldwork aspect of it, right? I got placed through the placements and TISS, and it was in one of the organizations I did my fieldwork in. And it shows the kind of 360-degree development that TISS brings in you, because it helps you to be so professionally in a setup like a fieldwork, where you're directly working with so many stakeholders across different NGOs. And from the time you are a student, you're getting that professionalism in you. You're able to believe in all the nuances that you're able to develop is because of the experience that this is providing you on ground, on field. And that sort of helps you to develop in your nurturing years when you're working as a professional. So like I said, right, I started my journey with working in an organization. I did my field work, and those 2 years of getting field rural practicum and the kind of approach and exposure in the communities you get, the kind of people you work with, the people who guide you, and the projects you get, it's a vast project. It's interdisciplinary. You get to work in different sectors of education, in livelihood, and you're able to understand what your niche is, what your nuances are. And I think there onwards, I was able to grow. I worked as a research coordinator in my first work experience, and I was working in livelihoods in the migration sector, where I was working to understand the different patterns of migration in different industries. And I had that experience when I was a field worker. I got that experience right hand, and then I was able to develop from there onwards. And of course, after that, getting the experience of working in the rural sector, understanding the field on the ground, I was able to establish myself as a professional social worker in the 2017. And then I wanted to explore and understand how it is to work in the urban sector. And like I said, because TISS Guwahati provides you such a multidisciplinary aspect, a platform, a foundation, you're able to explore other sectors. So along with livelihood, I was able to also delve my expertise into operations, into programs, something that I wanted to do in the urban sector, in the urban aspect of social work. And I did that extensively. And I was working with schools in after school education. So I shifted my base because I had that foundation built from TISS itself. And working in a city like Bangalore, coming to South India, experiencing the culture, I think Northeast helped me to build a foundation for that. I was able to come from West Bengal to coming and understanding Northeast, the essence of it, meeting people, communicating with the professors, understanding the different course structures that also have this kind of specializations that helps me develop Northeast, help me also to culturally be acceptable and understand South India. And working extensively in South India for many years now. I'm currently in the CSR sector. Again, in education itself, I have continued to be in the sector, starting from primary after school education. I'm in higher education in an organization that works with that. But just to come back, from time and time, TISS has always been a part of my life, my development, because I've met colleagues who are from TISS, from different campuses. I've had stakeholders, NGOs who are associated with TISS from my journey to also understanding that how at a different point you get to meet people in this sector. So I think it's a holistic development that you have. And today when I'm working in CSR, I get to meet people who are from TISS as well. And it's of immense pride to me that representing this campus and being taught by such amazing professors who help you build who you are today. So thank you so much for giving me this opportunity, and really looking forward to connecting with a lot of you. And as Praniti had also mentioned, I'm there by this name on LinkedIn, happy to connect and help. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Andri. If any of the other alumni members would like to add some points, we can consolidate the sessions together. Sreyoshi, would you like to please share? Go ahead. Thank you.
Hi, sorry, am I audible?
You are.
I'm sorry, I'm a little all over the place. I'm also cooking dinner while being a part of this session. But just a little brief of my background. I was actually from the Peace and Conflict Studies department or school, from the School of Social Sciences and Humanities. Unfortunately, I believe this year PAX is not offering a course, an MA course for the students. However, it's somewhat serendipitous that it was just today that I, as someone who's working in a field that's slightly tangentially related to what I studied, actually went back to my classmates' thesis to be able to put together something. So to give you a little context, I'm currently working with an organization that is located in the intersection of food systems and sustainability, climate change. And so essentially we do social impact projects and I lead those projects. And as a part of the organization, that's something that we are trying to build. It's a program to help. So generally in the development in the nonprofit sector, what we've seen so far is everyone's doing a lot of incredible work, but people are working in silos. They're not connecting and building like a community, a platform, a networking sector within the sector to kind of help each other. So that is a gap that we're trying to fulfill as a part of our organization. I work with this food-based platform called the Locavore. And what we felt was maybe there's merit in bringing these different organizations and the work that they're doing together, not just in terms of building a community and how you do work externally, but also how you treat your employees. So we're also looking at how different organizations, because if there's something that a lot of us have felt over time, that many workplaces are incredibly toxic. It's very interesting to see the questions that have come up, because generally, and that's just the outlook of most students, that as you start off a course, you're also thinking of what happens next, and the next usually for a lot of in a lot of cases is just getting into the workforce, and the workforce is not very kind to everyone. It's just a fact. It is what it is. And one of the things that we're trying to build is that, and this comes from a simple thought, that if you are not functioning at 100% capacity, no matter how great a social worker you are, you will not be able to contribute to the community you're working in at 100% capacity. So that's where your mental health, your physical health, your work-life balance comes in. And so one of the things that we're trying to work on to put together is to understand how workplaces look at things like diversity, equity, and inclusion. How are workplaces looking at things like work-life balance? Are you being able to give your employees time off? If you're not, then what are you doing in order to balance that out? And in order to even explain to my team members what it is and why this is important, why this is an important conversation to have, I went back to a thesis that my friend wrote while we were studying at TISS. And this was happening today. So that's what I mean by serendipitous. So it all brings you back to, and every day, and this is something, and I resonate with what Chandra said, that every single day in the work life, I am constantly reminded of just little things that I've learned in my 2 years at TISS. I keep meeting people who are from TISS. Some of my closest friends, even within the workforce, even within the workplace, are people I've met at TISS. Because TISS molds you in a way that not many other places do. It's just the way you approach. It's just the way the institute approaches not just education, but worldview in general, politics in general, and how that trains you. And it trains you to not just be a great researcher, an excellent social worker. It trains you to be extremely adaptive in a constantly and rapidly changing world. So, and I'd say, and we all, when we all started off, all of us were worried, hey, what's about placement? Where are we going to get placed? Is this going to work? But in time, what we've realized is it does work out, and it does work out for the better. So, and again, like both Chandra and Pranati said, happy to help you all out if you all have questions. Again, available on the same name on LinkedIn. Do feel free to reach out, and always happy to talk to future and past TISSians at any point. Thank you.
Could I just butt in and just say something shortly after Shreyasi, because it's connected? Would that be okay? Okay. So I completely agree with a lot of the points, and that's incredible to hear what your research work is based on. And just going off that, like places and not being kind and critique, etc. I feel like that's also a constant conversation that exists in educational spaces. And like theories that you might have been taught, trying to employ them also within the campus walls, etc. Educational spaces do serve as a basis and as a grounds for that. At the same time, like just being on the practical side of things, like knowing why are you entering this space, and I was seeing questions around salaries, etc., which are super practical, super important. Things do work out, but some of us have familial responsibilities, etc. So yes, those are very important considerations, and I feel like our faculty members have answered that quite a bit. But yeah, at the same time, I'll just be blunt enough to say this, that not all MA students will earn necessarily more than all BA students. It depends heavily on what you're studying. Being a social sciences institution, on top of that, has an additional layer on that. And while all those, not drawbacks, but those considerations exist, there are ways around it. So just knowing why are you going to this campus and studying this course, answering that for yourself gave me a satisfaction on a lot of levels when I came from a college where definitely the placement might have been higher, but I did not opt to sit for placements at TISS or at LSR simply because I knew that I wanted to understand groundwork more. And while there might be days you can go back on that question, that fact of learning remains. So, just going through the questions, very valid concerns, would encourage you to also reach out to people who are actually studying these courses or recently studied it on LinkedIn, on mail, because they'll be able to also give you very realistic pictures on when they left, how it was. And that is something I say in personal conversations as well, because institutional names survive, but how a course is structured, what is being offered, what is not, does evolve over time. So you might want to see that based on your personal interests and motivation to do a master's as well. Just that.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think, we are really running out of time. And
Yes.
we have a lot of alumni members here.
Yes.
Even like we have Dr. Pomi Mahanta, she has been our alumni, and then now she's a faculty with the TISS Guwahati. She's also here. But I request Sauraveswar to see that how we moderate, because we have very limited time now.
Absolutely. So I saw Sanchita also, she had raised her hand. Sanchita, would you like to maybe in a crisp, like a minute pitch? I know it's not easy to sum up, but I think some of the points that all of us have reflected upon tonight is going to be very valid. One thing which I am learning from each of you for sure is that if you are strong on your meaning, possibly the money follows, right? If I can also be very, very blunt about it. So Sanchita, would you like to add something more enriching that would help the aspirants forward? Thank you. In maybe a minute or two. Thanks a lot. Yeah.
So thank you so much. And I'm so happy to see so many of my seniors, my juniors, the professors. Takes me back to the time when I was in TISS Guwahati. I'm from the batch of 1719, and I was in the Department of Livelihoods and Social Entrepreneurship. You sit in this conversation and you can see the energy, the happiness amongst all the batch, all the alumni who have come here today. And right in the beginning, all of you mentioned that, yeah, we are very caught up in our day-to-day work. But I think one message from our professors, and we are here, that in itself talks about the culture that TISS builds. And especially TISS Guwahati, because I think from the very beginning, everyone has spoken about one thing, that is the diversity. It is not, when you come to TISS, you do not come to TISS because you will walk out of the campus with a 20 lakh, 25 lakh package. You come to TISS because you feel that maybe in the grand scheme of things, you can make that one little percentage of change. For me, that is how I entered TISS. Very practical concerns from the prospective students that, yes, what do I do after I get a degree from TISS? Very true. So even when I was in the campus, I did not know how much I'm going to earn after that. But like all of you have said, I would just reiterate that please know that if you learn and if you follow your heart in the institute, there are people outside in your alumni network itself who will absorb you into these jobs. I personally got placed into HCL Foundation through the TISS placement itself. And today, with all the learnings that TISS has given me, I sit here, talk to you as a India specialist for Oracle in their CSR and social impact department. So that did not happen in one day, right? It is because my professors, my friends, and I myself put in a lot of effort. That holds true for any of the campus. I do not feel it is very right to compare a TISS Mumbai to a TISS Guwahati, because every campus looks at education in a very different way. I am in Bombay right now, but I feel more connected to the TISS Guwahati campus. It's not because of the placement letter that my campus gave me, but because I have the best friends now who, whenever I'm crying for anything, I know I can call them, bank upon them, and tell them, hey, you know, this is where I am in life. And I assure each one of you, once you join TISS, this is the biggest return on investment you can get in life. Money will definitely follow. Trust me on that. Thank you so much.
Professor Pradeep, would you like, you know, any of the faculty members to add any points before we finally round off? Because I can still see there are alumni who might want to pitch in. But in case a faculty would like to speak at this juncture, something that would, you know, help us to consolidate our thoughts tonight, that would be really helpful.
I think Dr. Samuel, you want to come in?
Hi. Yes, thank you. Thank you for the time. I just wanted to add a little bit on the sociology and social anthropology course. I think this is also one of the courses in this, which is going to give you a very different way of looking at life, and also in regarding the particular program, it is the only core subject that is being offered in these campuses. But even though it's a core, it's a core course, as my colleague Dr. Abhinandan has pointed out, it is very interdisciplinary, multidisciplinary approach. So if you suppose, if anyone, if you are considering applying for the course, what you're going to learn is the importance. One point only I wanted to make, that we emphasize on research and theories. That is, we have this practice concurrent research, the concurrent research where students are encouraged, it's a compulsory to start doing research from the second semester onwards throughout the year. So whatever that is being taught in the classroom in terms of theories, etc., so that they can be applied in whatever research that they are doing. And also this course will give you a global perspective as well as the peculiarity of Northeast and then small societies versus urban societies, so on and so forth. So I thought I should just add that. Thank you for the time.
Thank you so much, Professor. I think, you know, there is one enthusiastic aspirant, Pranav, Professor Pradeep, who was, I think, trying to previously also ask a question via microphone. He's again kind of trying to elaborate certain aspects related to qualitative and quantitative research methodology, research projects. If any of you would like to answer, because I think many of the professors did highlight about the wide range of opportunity of research through their programs. The alumni also mentioned their own experiences through the course and into the field later on into their professional life. So would any of you professors, Professor Santosh is on camera, would like to address to Pranav's specific query?
Yeah, I saw the question and just wanted to share that at TISS, we teach research methodology. We give equal importance to quantitative, qualitative, and even mixed methods research. So it is the student who would decide what they want to specialize in. Suppose somebody wants to learn more about qualitative, when they do their own research projects, they can use that particular qualitative research methodology. And suppose somebody wants to do quantitative research, then they can. So at TISS, we would offer training so that the students would be trained to learn both the quantitative, qualitative, and as well as the mixed methods research. We don't give any particular preference to any particular approach. Okay, and in terms of whether it is research philosophy, whether it is research approaches, we don't have any particular preference. This is, I mean, across the centers, across the programs, and this is the position that we have. And we don't have any particular preference for any particular research methodology. Yeah, that's what I wanted to share.
Thank you so much, Professor. We are.
I hope that clarifies his question. Yeah.
Yes, thank you so much. We are, we wish that we could go on with the session, honestly, because there is so much to share and understand and enrich our perspectives. But we really cannot end the session without knowing clearly whether, if any of the existing alumni who are in the session right now, I can see Sabhyata, I can see Pritha, part of the alumni panel who are in the session. Would you like to add, quickly add, when I say quickly add, maybe some really key words, not even sentences. We are sorry, but we are so kind of pressed with the time, and thanks to the professors that they could also keep their time together. But Sabhyata, Pritha, Sabhyata is there. Would you like to quickly bring out some maybe key words and phrases, Sabhyata? Because nowadays aspirants are quite savvy, as you know, with quote-unquote keywords or prompts, right? So, but if you would like to just bring in through your experience, Sabhyata, for all of them. Thank you.
All the aspirants. So I graduated from TISS Guwahati from Center for Counseling in 2023. One thing I would like to add to that ROI question, am I audible?
Yes, you are. Go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah. So one I would actually like to that ROI can see the for my as well with me. But I believe the actual ROI is not in terms of finances or like economy, but definitely like the kind of personal development and professional development that happens is it's at par, honestly. Like the kind of people that you meet, the kind of experiences, all of these things you cannot like measure it in terms of money. But yeah, definitely monetary is also like an important aspect. So actually some of the data regarding to my particular batch. So we definitely had like quite a number of students who were placed through placement cell at TISS Guwahati. And the highest package that went was up to 10 LPA. So I think that gives an answer. I mean, definitely doesn't match to HRM or other ODCL kind of courses from TISS Mumbai. Because being a social sciences institute, and especially with TISS Guwahati, the courses that we have are social work and social sciences only. So obviously, like initially, the pay is not going to be as amazing as other management related courses. But yeah, I mean, it's a slow progress, but it's a very giving opportunity. Like it's a very fulfilling kind of field that we work in. And so, yeah, I mean, but yeah, 10 LPA or like in the previous batch, I believe it went up to 12 LPA as well. So there are CSRs that hire students for these particular amounts. So yeah, I mean, that's one of the aspects. And I mean, my experience at TISS has been definitely life-changing, as all my seniors did mention that how connected they feel with the campus. That same goes with me. To this date, I'm still very connected to a lot of my professors. A simple call by my professor was enough for me to be here today. And definitely, it's a wonderful opportunity. And if anyone would like to contact me, again, like I'm available on LinkedIn. So you can find me there with the same name. And thank you so much. Thank you so much for the opportunity. And it's so nice to see all my professors here. It's definitely like a nice feeling. So yeah.
Thank you so much, Sabhyata. I had the opportunity to also work with Sabhyata together. She was heading the placement, coordination, and it was very seamless. I must say that the type of professionalism that students reflect, because it's not easy with our education system we do get to taste professionalism maybe only at a master's, right? After almost 15 years of education at least, right? So I must say that compliment this to the upcoming placement cells also of the batches, as well as to many of the aspirants who can come up, that, you know, that sense of professionalism is going to always take you very, very far. Thank you, Pritha, also an alumna, sharing that be ready for a lot of self-reflection, unlearning and relearning. Two major takebacks would be the teachings. TISS Guwahati really builds your perspective. Number two, Pritha mentions, which we all you know, look forward to, is Friends for Life. Thank you so much for those points, Pritha. Professor Pradeep, cannot thank you enough also for being like such a patient professor, as well as, you know, knitting this entire event together. Would like to definitely finally, you know, consolidate this session with some of your thoughts and points and motivation for the days ahead with our admissions.
I think I'll again request Professor Kalpana ma'am to help us with that, and then maybe then we will conclude with her final words. She started, and I think we'll request her. I think she's back with, I think she's just.
Yeah, but I think really, Dr. Pradeep, since you have coordinated this, I'll speak on your behalf as well. I think, you know, it was very well put together, and thank you to the aspirants for asking us so many questions and wanting to know so many aspects further. And I think a lot of these concerns might remain, but some of them might have been addressed. We look forward to seeing you here on the campus. And you know, we just think that the alumni are what really are our strengths, and they are our resources. Very grateful on behalf of the campus director to each and every one of the alumni who are also here to share their thoughts, because I'm sure the students who are aspiring to join us will understand that, you know, we can say many things, but ultimately it's our students who speak for the institute, and that their voice actually is the strongest, loudest voice. So thank you so much, Mr. Sauraveswar, again on behalf of TISS and on behalf of Professor Jagannath Ambagudia. Thank you.
I think, yeah. Thank you. So I think if time permits, for a minute, all of us can switch on our video and then say hi to each other. And then Sauraveswar, I think you will keep this link open, I think, for another 2-3 minutes, so that all of us can see each other, say hi, and then greet each other. Yeah.
I think.
Are we taking a picture?
Hi, everyone.
Really happy to see a lot of our alumni.
I feel like interning with them now. They're looking at the kind of thematics they are working, are very energizing.
Absolutely.
And I think I should go and intern with them now.
You know, I must just add that, you know, I was reaching out to Srijita Sarkar, and, you know, she was in a meeting in Paris and still wanting to join, but it got extended. So I feel this session, maybe, if I am allowed to say on behalf of everyone, is not what we are ending, but we are starting with. It's like a community, a network, irrespective of all the aspirants. Whether or not you make it to TISS campus, I guess the network is very important. Today or tomorrow, that impact would be created. Professors, thank you so much. This was a true enriching, close to 2 hours now that we spent with all of you. And it did not feel at all like 2 hours, let me also admit. Because, you know, when you are constantly learning, reflecting, as well as caring for each other, time definitely flies by. Thank you once more, the faculty, everyone. Professor Pradeep.
And then Sauraveswar, a special thanks to you, because you just joined our team yesterday, and then I think you brought in a lot of energy. I think we got introduced to Sauraveswar yesterday, and then thanks to him that he brought a lot of energy, and he gave very good direction to how we should design the sessions, and then how we should mobilize. It was a lot of help which was extended from him. So I thank each and everyone who participated. I think we'll close. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Have a very good night, all of you, and stay connected. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Yeah, good night.
Thank you.
Thank you and good night.